The Karen Reed murder trial is baffling. She is charged with second-degree murder and manslaughter while operating under the influence of alcohol and leaving the scene where there has been personal injury and death. I've never looked into this trial because I was occupied with the YNW Melly trial when it first happened. And this retrial is going to be absolutely insane because there's so many red flags in this case. Please watch this full video. You're going to see. If you've never heard about this case, it's fucking insane. Comment if I missed anything. I'm sure I've missed a lot. But yeah, hit subscribe. Let's go.
Big break in the case of a Boston police officer found dying in the snow during the blizzard. John O'Keefe was found dead outside of a home in Canton over the weekend.
And the big shocker, his girlfriend from Mansfield now charged with manslaughter.
Could I have hit him? Did I hit him?
That's what the prosecution alleges Karen Reed told a friend after dropping John O'Keefe off at a home on Fairview Road in Canton.
She told a friend, did I hit him? Did I hit him? So was she drunk? Did she not know what was going on exactly when she dropped him off?
Where he was later found in the snow. The courtroom was filled with Boston police officers and the families of both Reed and O'Keefe, who listened as the assistant Norfolk district attorney laid out this timeline. He said the two were going out drinking at a couple of bars on Friday night before deciding to go to that home on Fairview Road.
This house that he was found out front of is another cop's house.
Reed dropped O'Keefe off there early Saturday morning, did a 3-point turn, and left to go home. While home, Reed's lawyer says she tried getting a hold of O'Keefe.
At 4:30 in the morning, my client is placing multiple calls to the victim in this case, to her boyfriend, wondering where he is, why he hasn't come home.
I mean, that's solid evidence, but that could be just her planting stuff if she really did this maliciously. Some people have tried to cover up their tracks by doing that, contacting someone they know they just killed, but I don't know. Seems weird.
When she couldn't get in touch, she went back to Fairview Road to see if he was there.
At the time, it was snowing heavily, creating poor visibility.
O'Keefe was found around 6 Saturday morning and later pronounced dead at a hospital.
She discovered the victim in the morning. She observed him lying face up, snow on his legs, eyes swollen and blood coming from his nose and mouth.
Prosecutors say red pieces of plastic that matched the missing pieces from the broken taillight on Reed's car were also found at the scene, while the defense argued manslaughter charges are not justified.
Wait, so there's a broken taillight too that connects to her car? That's not a good look.
Was no criminal intent. This was not some random stranger. This was my client's boyfriend, somebody with whom she was in love.
We were happy, having fun, laughing, just very normal. Her attorneys
That's good evidence right there to show the jury them in the bar all happy. There's no fight or anything.
Argued that evidence being withheld from them will show that the people inside the home are responsible.
Instead of finally investigating the people who had a motive to kill John O'Keefe, who beat him and left him to die in the cold in a blizzard.
Oh, so there's a whole other theory here. This is going to be a big juicy case, isn't it? See, when this whole trial was going on, I'm pretty sure I was balls deep in the first YNW Melly trial, I think. So I completely ignored this trial. There's some sketchy shit happened with people in the house too. Is that what's going on here? These motherfuckers in cahoots in the house going on? Oh boy.
The prosecution has chosen instead to dig their heels in. This will not end well for them.
For the channel, please hit subscribe. I appreciate the support. Back to the video, boys.
The attorneys have filed motions to get the phone records of homeowner Brian Albert and his sister-in-law, Jennifer McCabe.
Why did Jennifer McCabe Google search how long to die in cold at 2:27 in the morning, 3.5 hours before she would have any reason to believe?
That's fucking weird. That's a red flag. Oh, there's something afoot here, boys. Something's going on. What? What?
John O'Keefe was dying in the cold in front of Brian Albert's house.
The defense argues Albert, who has a history of fighting, attacked O'Keefe along with his 90-pound German Shepherd.
Wait, I thought he got hit by a car. Right? They're saying she hit him with the car. Is that wounds from a car? What? That's not no damn wounds from a car right there. Looks like this motherfucker got scratched up. Some demon got him. Or a dog. It's a good theory. What the fuck? I mean, even I feel like tire marks, no, not even tire marks would do that.
The Commonwealth argues witnesses, forensics, and every piece of evidence to this point prove Reed hit O'Keefe with her car.
I'm just a little confused as far as are they in the conspiracy, or are these people sort of let out of the conspiracy because they say something that doesn't further that conspiracy? If they're all in the house, and Mr. O'Keefe comes in the house and gets attacked by a dog and then gets dragged out to the bottom of the lawn and left there for dead, then why do they all testify that no one came into the house?
What Reed's lawyers were claiming in court today.
I mean, they could be all in on it. How many f***ing people are in this house? I have so many questions. Here we go, dude. And this trial starts April 1st. Oh, shit.
Is that there is corruption in this case that might include Judge Canone.
This got people protesting outside, so there must be a bunch more evidence that indicates she's innocent, right? What is going on? I missed this whole first trial, bro. The first trial ended with a hung jury, so yeah, this was July 2023. I was completely occupied by the YNW Melly trial. I'm just now realizing.
Alan Jackson, Reed's attorney, pulled out a text message that he says Boston Police Detective Sean McCabe sent to a reporter claiming that McCabe had ties to the judge. Reed's defense requested the judge to step down. She denied that motion.
Hold on, she had ties to the victim?
I've never interacted with him, and I certainly never have socialized with him.
Whoa. One of the defense lawyers asked her to recuse herself because she has, you know, conflict of interest situation with the detective. Oh man, oh man. At least that's what I gathered from that, and I'm a fucking idiot, remember?
You can actually see the barricades set up right now surrounding the courthouse. It's all because of the protests that we've seen in the weeks leading up to this trial. Reed is accused of backing her SUV into her boyfriend.
Oh, is backing into him? How is he gonna get those marks on his arm? Those are scratch marks.
Leaving him to die in a 2022 snowstorm. Reed pleaded not guilty to the second-degree murder charge. Her attorneys claim she's being framed as part of a cover-up. The case has drawn a lot of attention, especially from supporters of Reed. That's why state prosecutors have put restrictions in place like that buffer zone that I mentioned. Some argue it's against their First Amendment rights.
Commonwealth is calling it a buffer zone, but they might as well call it a restraining order against the citizens of Massachusetts.
I think she's very unjustly been treated by the state of Massachusetts.
Karen Reed could be any one of us. Thank God she has the money and the means to fight this. But if it was us, one of everyday person, we'd be in jail by now.
Hold on, the money, is she rich or something? I thought I saw, before I started this video, I was looking up Karen Reed trial explained, and I thought I saw that someone said she got $5 million in pro bono, like lawyers. Karen Reed facing a retrial for the death of her boyfriend, that she owes her legal team over $5 million in legal fees and is living off the remains of her 401k. So it's not pro bono, or is it? The AI is probably wrong.
And you wouldn't even know about this.
What has this process been like for your family?
It's been hell. It's been 26, 27 months of hell.
She said, I hit him. She repeated it. There was a woman standing across from her who I believe at that point said, you're hysterical, you need to calm down.
Just something like, he's dead.
All I recall her saying was, is he alive?
Cross-examination of firefighter Flamati was contentious, as the defense asked him where he was in a video, why his claims weren't in a report, and what he said at the hospital.
You directly told the doctors and nurses that there was a question about whether or not he was hit by a vehicle, right?
Yes.
Have you ever said that in any context, either to the police or in a grand jury before today?
I don't recall.
Oh, so he's switching up his whole fuckers adding in shit suddenly at trial. That's happened in every trial I've ever seen. Motherfuckers be adding in testimony that they've never said before.
Boston police officer John O'Keefe's family emotional in court today as the 911 call from the morning he died was played.
Do you want access to AI that actually respects your privacy? If you want to test out DeepSeek's power without sharing all your conversations with Beijing, then let me recommend my sponsor, Venice.ai. Venice.ai is a generative platform that is private and permissionless. They utilize leading open source AI models to deliver text, code, and image generation to your web browser. There's absolutely no downloads or installations of anything. Since DeepSeek made their model open source, Venice developers were able to edit it to keep it private and remove any bias injection or censorship. I mean, do you really think everything you're generating in AI platforms are completely private? Well, they are with Venice. We also know that these companies program their AIs to only give certain types of answers. So I really do like that Venice.ai doesn't spy on you or censor AI. Messages are encrypted and your conversation history is only stored in your web browser. All right, here's Venice.ai's website. I just typed in what's happening in the Karen Reed retrial, and within seconds it gives me this whole big answer. Oh, there's even an appeal situation going on in Supreme Judicial Court. I did not know that was happening. And I do this throughout the day if I'm ever wondering anything. I just type on Venice.ai. If you want to try Venice.ai, you don't need to create an account. account. You can just go to my link, venice.ai/cuffboys, and start chatting. And if you want access to a completely private and censorship-less model and other amazing features, you can use my link, venice.ai/cuffboys, and code cuffboys to get 20% off your pro plan. I love me some AI that respects your privacy. Go do it right now, boys. Thank you.
How many pieces of taillight did you find on or around that property?
That morning, none.
Reed's attorneys who allege a cover-up also questioning...
Hold on. What? Hold on. They didn't find any taillight that morning? Oh, I know there's probably a shit ton of snow on the ground, but come on. What? So they ended up finding it days later? I'm so confused. That's weird. Was this crime scene thoroughly f***ing searched? There's a dead body in the road. You didn't look around for a good hour or two?
Reed's attorneys who allege a cover-up also questioning why inside the home wasn't searched thoroughly that morning.
Nobody put John O'Keefe anywhere but where he was found.
The defendant kissed me.
And how did she kiss you?
Not like a friend.
ATF agent Brian Higgins, who had an office at the Canton police station, taking the stand in the Karen Reed murder trial.
Wait, she was having like an affair? Is that what this is hinting at?
You're hot. I responded, are you serious or messing with me? Defendant responded, no, I'm serious.
Dude, these accents, bro. The Boston accent.
Prosecutors showing pages of flirty texts between the two. The same month, Reed's boyfriend, John O'Keefe, was found dead at 34 Fairview Road in Canton.
I'm proud of these text messages. It is what it is. I take responsibility for them. But, you know, John was a friend at the same time. And if they were at the end of the relationship, they were at the end of their relationship. But I wasn't going to have somebody utilize me.
On cross-examination, Reed's attorney pointing out she didn't answer Higgins' text at the bar hours before O'Keefe died.
Well, why are you ignoring me?
It's not correct.
Well, am I chopped liver? So where's your phone?
I do not have that phone anymore.
You've destroyed that phone, haven't you?
No, I threw the phone away.
Motherfucker, throwing your phone away is some sus shit. Why is he throwing his phone away? Who does that? The fuck? I literally have every phone I've ever owned for the past 10 years. Or I traded some of them in. I traded like 2 of them in. But I have iPhones in the drawer back there from literally 10 years ago. That's some sus shit. Unless you destroy it, like on accident dropping it. What is this guy doing? Wait, so the prosecutor's just trying to show a narrative that there was some drama in the relationship. He could have found out she was cheating and shit, and then she fucking killed him. This is all so hairy, man.
Well, that's destroying the phone, isn't it?
I had every right to do that.
I'm not sure if it's in this document, but I can tell you today with 100% clarity, she said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
Wow. So what's the defense here? That she didn't hit him and it's just people inside killed him and dragged him outside with the pit bull? That's what it is, really? There's got to be more red flags here, right?
Brian Albert is a retired police sergeant. He had also been at the bar. So all of these people were drinking heavily. Like we're talking like 7 drinks in 2 hours kind of drinking. So people are intoxicated. According to Karen Reed, she drops John off at the Albert household for this after party, after get together, if you will. Karen goes home, leaves John there. She wakes up early, realizes that John is not home. She freaks out. He doesn't answer his phone. She recruits the help of 2 friends to go look for him. They find his body in a snowbank outside the Albert household.
Okay.
The official cause of death is blunt force trauma to the head and hypothermia. It's the hypothermia that really got it. Like there's something in his pancreas that shows like this man died from being left out in the cold. So Karen Reed is accused of having hit John when she dropped him off. This is the prosecution. They claim that she was very drunk. She did a 3-point turn and backed up going 24 miles per hour. Pretty fast for backing up on a 3-point turn. 24 miles per hour, hitting John while backing up, driving away, leaving him to die in the snow. Everybody at the house party claims that John never came inside to the party. Okay. They say that they saw him and Karen pull up in their car, but never came in, and they just assumed that they went home.
What the fuck? So they saw the car pull up, but then never realized no one came inside?
Also claims that the taillight of Karen's car was busted, and that pieces of it were later found outside the Albert's home. Keep that in mind. Okay. They say that the pieces of the taillight were also found in John's clothes, and that his DNA was found on the bumper of the car. 2 witnesses claim, after she discovered the body the next morning, that Karen kept yelling, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
Wait, his DNA was found in the car. This is bad, right? What type of DNA? Was it blood? Or like, I guess the only other one could be hair or touch DNA. I doubt he touched it. It was probably clothes.
Doesn't sound great for Karen, right?
Right.
Sounds awful for Karen. Seems straightforward.
Yep.
You are mistaken.
Okay.
There are like 30 people involved in this case. Many of them are law enforcement or former law enforcement. Most of them are connected to each other either by marriage, family, friends.
30 fucking people? I'm gonna kill myself. How am I gonna follow this? I need a fucking visual chart of all these goddamn people. What?
All of them are friends, buddies, pals with the lead investigator of the case. The lead investigator of the case, his sister, is good friends with a man named Chris Albert.
Okay.
Albert you would recognize as the last name of the household they were at the night of John's death. Chris Albert is Brian Albert's brother, also a cop. Chris Albert's wife is friends with the sister of the investigator. They were all at the house where John was found dead. Okay.
That many people were in that house? And they're all police officers? Besides the women, I guess?
His wife is friends with Brian's wife. So these are the Albert households. That makes sense. You're friends with your, brother's wife, whatever. They're friends with a woman named Jen McCabe. And this is an important key factor in this because she is one of the biggest key witnesses in this entire case. The lead investigator has a massive conflict of interest, right? You would think.
Of course, he was at the party.
He says no, he wasn't at the party.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't at the party. His wife's friend was at the party.
Okay.
Not at the party, but he claimed to not have any conflict of interest in this and went on as the lead investigator. His name is Michael Proctor. He also sent some really nasty texts about Karen, like right after this went off. He called her the C word. He said that she was hot but didn't have a butt. And he said that she was guilty. He seems like a real not great guy.
What? The lead investigator's talking shit?
After 16 hours after they discovered the body, he's texting his friends like, this woman is guilty. We're gonna get her. He had only talked to 3 witnesses at the time, all of them, of course, being members of this like interwoven web of friends. They had never gone inside the household, not once, and they had never cleared off the crime scene. Like they had never officially cleared it off as this crime scene is being investigated. Reed's defense insists that this investigator is a big part of her being framed.
Okay.
All of the people in the house were allowed to get together and chit chat. Like no one was sequestered off from one another, so they could all get their stories straight at some point. The neighbor of Brian Albert, who is also a cop, his Ring camera footage mysteriously not working overnight, but was working when they went back and found John's body. So for some reason overnight, when this accident would have taken place, no Ring camera footage.
Oh, that's horseshit. That's a red flag. What the fuck? Well, actually, if you think about it, my Ring doesn't keep footage unless there's motion of like people walking by. So maybe it could have glitched, but maybe there's another setting you can change. I don't know, dude.
But when they found the body, there is footage of them finding it. Remember the taillight pieces? I told you to remember the taillight pieces. They weren't found until the day after they found the body. In fact, the scene, having never been properly closed off as a crime scene and secured, was open for people to just walk around and do whatever they wanted to do with it at any given time. 35 pieces of taillight were found over several weeks. None of them the day of. Now, granted, there was a lot of snow. It was a big snowstorm, heavy amounts of snow. The taillight fragments on the clothes, the lead investigator had just let that evidence hang out in his office for a week before turning it in. At best, like the negligence of the handling of evidence in this case is high. They used solo cups to collect blood. Wow. They used a leaf blower to try to find evidence in the snow.
Oh, this is a shit show. There's probably gonna be a mistrial again. There's gonna be at least half the people in the jury gonna be like, there's something afoot here. This is horseshit right here.
The DNA on the bumper that was found, one single strand of hair.
Okay.
Just one. There is also video of Karen when she left to go drive to try to find John around 5 a.m. The taillight is still intact in that video. And once Karen was accused of this murder, her car is taken into something called the Sallyport at the police station.
Hold on. That's huge. Her taillight's fine after he was hit. That's huge evidence. This lady might be getting framed, boys.
And this matters because there's video of some of these police officers hanging around this car for hours, plus some video is missing from the time that they were there. Like 40 minutes of video is just missing from the time of this car sitting in the Sallyport. And the prosecution during the trial showed a video trying to prove that the officers were hanging around like the opposite side of the car. They inverted the video. So the side that they were actually hanging out was the side of the proclaimed busted taillight, but they made it look like they were just standing around the other side of the car. They claim it's a coincidence and it was just an accident in how the video was.
That's some of the most, what do you mean just an accident? Inverting a video is like, you have to put it in Adobe Premiere and right click it and hit switch horizontally. What? That's some of the sketchiest shit I've ever heard. They switched the video around to make it look more incriminating?
To continue going with this, I don't know if Karen Reed did this or not, but the prosecution has not done a very good job of making 100% believe. There is a lot of reasonable doubt being left. And if that's not enough reasonable doubt for you,
give me the cell phone. Yeah, the cell phone info. That's what got me.
Wait. You might be stuck on her saying, like, I hit him, right?
Yeah, that's bad, right? Maybe she was saying, did I hit him or something? Like she was questioning it?
She said she was in a state of shock and was more asking, did I hit him? Did I hit him?
Yeah.
Which would make sense when you're in a state of shock. Your boyfriend just died.
Yeah, if you think you accidentally killed your boyfriend, you're not. You're not. Like,
I swear in my life, I just guessed that. I swear, that's crazy. I know that's common sense though, or just like the most common misconception.
And she was drunk, and you'd be concerned about that. Perhaps that happened.
Yeah.
So within the police report from that day, it never says that she hit him or said that she hit him. Okay. It has one of the witnesses, Jen McCabe, who I told you was the key witness in all of this. In her 200-page jury interview for the grand jury, she never says that Karen said that she hit him. She only recently changed her story to say that she's one of the witnesses who remembers Karen saying, I hit him. And this is the first cell phone zinger at 2:27 a.m. Bennett, 2:27 a.m. Jennifer McCabe Google searched, how long does it take to die in the snow?
I mean, one of the biggest red flags I've ever heard in my life. Why is she Googling that when someone's out front dying in the snow?
Case closed. That's all I need to hear.
How long does it take to die in the snow? She claims it was a glitch. And the prosecution claims that...
A glitch?
A glitch. So the claim is that she actually Googled that around 6 and the phone data just got scrambled and it makes it seem that she did it at 2:27 a.m. But then the defense's technology expert came in and said that's impossible. Like she searched at 2:27 a.m. That is one of the biggest keys that they are hanging on to from the defense side of things. Like that in itself is just reasonable doubt beyond belief. She also deleted like 30 calls that night. One of them was to the investigator's wife. And they also had records of talking multiple times throughout that evening. She also claims that
there's the more I watch this, the more red flags pop up. There's reasonable doubt all over this fucking case. No jury's gonna convict her. This is a waste of time. This is so juicy.
That she saw Karen leave at 12:45, but that would be impossible because Karen connected to John's Wi-Fi back at the house at 12:37. Then we get into the Albert household. They also deleted a ton of calls. Brian Albert is friends with this other guy, Brian Higgins, two Brians, and Brian Higgins had sent a handful of flirty text messages to Karen Reed. So they might have been having a little something. Like there was trouble in paradise in the relationship of Karen and John, and like there were accusations that John was cheating on her, and there are these texts with her and this Brian Higgins character. But Brian Albert and Brian Higgins deleted their entire call logs from that night once it was clear that they were gonna have to turn their phones over. The Alberts, where this house party or gathering was held, they remodeled their house after this incident, particularly their basement, and they sold their home. They sold their home where this all happened. They also got rid of their dog. And you might be thinking, what does the dog have to do with all of this? Well, when John died, he had all
renovated the basement, sold the house, and got rid of the dog. When this motherfucker got scratch marks all over his arm.
And you might be thinking, what does the dog have to do with all of this? Well, when John died, he had all of these lacerations on his arm, and the prosecution claims that he was holding a glass when he got hit, and the glass fell and like cut his arm, but these are some deep cuts. The defense says that the dog might have attacked at some point as a result of some incident that happened within this household.
Yeah, okay.
The family got rid of their dog. Long time dog, not a new dog, not a puppy. They had this dog. They rehomed their family dog following this incident after it looks like there was potential dog bites within this. And so there is all these deleted calls. There is the Googling of how long does it take for someone to die in the snow. There is the missing video footage at the Sally Port. And all that to say, there is a ton of reason why a jury would not be able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Karen Reed murdered her now dead boyfriend. Now, I do not know. This is strictly hypothetical storytelling wise, but some believe that the Alberts might have been involved in some, particularly their son, some like bad behavior, like he's a known, does incriminating behavior, and maybe John, also a cop, was interested in busting them for doing bad things, and then like he shows up to their house and they beat him up. There are also notable boxers in the local area.
Oh, so what it screams to me is they're at this party, everybody's drunk as hell because you mentioned a lot of the alcohol was flowing. A confrontation happens, a fight happens, and he dies, and nobody meant to kill him.
That's right.
But like
It was an accident.
It was an accident, yeah, but he's dead, and we got to cover this up. That's what it screams to me.
The problem is how would
And
they
we already
know?
hate his wife or his girlfriend.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And they
So
did
let's
go.
just-
There
let's
was this
throw her
whole
under the
trip
bus.
that they all
Yeah.
took to, I believe, Aruba, where there was some trouble in paradise, where many of them were on this trip that the prosecution has mentioned in terms
There's
of
a lot of
trying to paint
feelings
the
involved
picture
with
of
these
Karen and
people.
John
Yeah.
not being. They've been in a relationship for about 2 years, and there are texts that show some issues between them. Even that Brian Higgins, who I said was texting Karen, like he was at the bar that night and texted her at one point, hello, like insinuating that she wasn't talking to him at the bar. So it's messy. It's very messy. But why would they, or how would they know to pin it on her? And that's where I get lost. That's where I just can't quite think of this like mastermind conspiracy where they're all sitting around and they're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make it seem like Karen hit him with her car.
I mean,
it seems complicated.
It does.
It's very complicated. That's the other thing. Is it actually possible? Shout out Grind City Media for all this, by the way. Wow. A shit ton of red flags. Comment down below if you want me to cover this trial on April 1st. I think it's gonna be like probably a month or two, maybe shorter, I don't know. But I'm interested. There's some red flags. Love you guys. Hit subscribe. Peace out, boys.